Hi, it's me again. Your void. What is there to say? New vlog. Week 3? Week 3 of the Adventurerathon. And as I said in my last vlog update, if you don't know, go watch it. What are you doing here? I feel like I'm getting nowhere with my reads. I have been chopping away at both of these for a week. This one even longer. I have been chopping away at this for 2 weeks. Like, I started this on the 3rd or 4th of September. Like, and it feels like I'm getting nowhere because she is so thickums. I'm still over 200 pages away from the end. Yes, that's somewhat of a complaint, but at the same time it's not, because I love this book. And I know that these take a long while to get through, and I know that because these books are so big, I get my usual slump in the middle of it where I just want to pick up something else. I know that. I know that this happens when I go into books this big. It's fine. I'm going to finish it. It just feels like I'm getting nowhere. You feel me? Same goes with One Foot in the Fade. This is the fastest I have ever read a Luke Arnold. These can take me weeks because they're so slow in the middle. Still, I'm getting nowhere. And it's not like I'm not reading. I'm reading a lot. I'm reading like over 100 pages basically since the month started, so it's not like I'm not reading. It's just that I picked the wrong books for the readathon because they all take me forever to get through. So my current thing that I'm doing is reading 50 pages of this and then reading 50 pages of this, meaning I make progress, but it's very slow. And my brain, being my brain, says that's not good enough. So in order to spice things up, so to speak, I picked up another Blue Boy yesterday, or last night. You saw that at the end of the last vlog. I read Brutal, and the title is exactly what you get in here. Like, holy shit. I mean, I knew what I was getting myself into. But holy shit. This is very, well, brutal. But it also feels very good to see all these people basically be hit with what they did. Like, not only is this police detective killing people who did unspeakable things, he is also killing them in a way that represents what they did in the first place. So, like, the murderer who did a thing got the same thing done to him before he was allowed to die. And the frat boy had it coming. The frat boy dying? Fucking art. So I'm glad I have the other 3 volumes of this. Yes, but very brutal. That also means I finished my guest room prompt for Adventurerathon. This was a friend pick. And for Aurelium, I pretended that this friend doesn't read to get a demonology thing checked off the list. This one, being 192 pages long, also pushed me the last 10 pages I needed to hit my Storygraph page count goal for the year. Yay! Hooray! Oh, I also gave this 4 stars. It missed the 5-star mark because I would have liked a bit more depth on our main character, which I get is hard to do given the content of this, but listen, I live for a good serial killer. I just want to know why they do things, okay? I watch too much Criminal Minds. You have to tell me why. So, my plan for this week, this last week before we hit the boss fight, starting on the 23rd, is to finish my stupid starting prompt. And to finish the, I think this was the receiving room? The receiving room or the drawing room, I don't know. But this is the single perspective prompt for Adventurerathon. This is barely over 100 pages, so I will finish this hopefully in due time. There is a chance this is going to haunt me until the end of September, but as long as I read it, it's fine. And I also want to get at least started on Beauty of Darkness, because this is, after Sins of Empire, the biggest chonker I have on my TBR, so I want to make it... Look at her. So I want to make a decent dent into this. The beauty of Beauty of Darkness is it doesn't have small print, and the spacing between lines is actually kind of big. So even though this is like almost 700 pages long, there isn't actually that much to read. And since this is the third book in a trilogy, I already know how quickly I can get through these, and I can get through these very quickly. And I have the audiobook for it. So I should be able to get a good chunk into this. Is this going to make a dent in the rest of the books I need to read? No. No. I just want to point out that these two were what I set aside to read in the last week of Adventurerathon for the boss fight. These two. Technically, if I follow my original plan, I'm going to read all of this in the next week. In this vlog. That's fucking impossible, let's be honest. But yeah, I plan on making at least a decent dent into Beauty of Darkness with the aid of the audiobook. Probably going to do that before I finish One Foot in the Fade as well. And then my next priority, once I finish One Foot in the Fade, my priority becomes Legendborn. Probably, let's put some quotes around that, because again, it's like my biggest book. I probably finish another manga or my comic after One Foot in the Fade, just to have, again, something quick in between, because I know that these other books are going to take me forever. Let's just say the panic mode hasn't set in yet, but our fingers are hovering right above the panic button. Okay? Okay, so, yes, I will continue with these two, and probably at some point start Beauty of Darkness. Okay, cool. See you in the next update. So I'm reading the last 100 pages of One Foot in the Fade, right? We are fighting a Minotaur, like a really aggressive, really brutal fucking Minotaur. And we are fighting it with the power of friendship. Like, Fetch is literally recalling lessons he learned, lessons that have been taught to him by his friends. We are literally fighting this Minotaur with the power of friendship. He, first of all, like, he gets thrown a sword to just stay alive long enough, and he remembers his mentor, how he taught him how to fight with an actual sword, and like, okay, cool, this is the first guy who ever believed in me. Bam! I fight with a sword. Then he remembers one of his best friends saying, you never fight alone. Then he remembers another friend, no big things are ever done alone, even if you think you are alone. And now he is remembering another friend of his who conveniently dropped some lore on the Minotaur that will help him survive. We are fighting a Minotaur with the power of friendship. I love it. Excuse the shaking of the camera, I'm walking the dog right now. And we're going through the woods, so happy fun times. So this is the last week of Adventurerathon before we enter the boss fight, right? And Kirsty just put out the key count, and I looked at the key count. We're not there yet. We're still missing some keys. Emphasis on some. So I think with the fact that I'm feeling like I'm not making any progress, I'm going to change my strategy. At this point I can tell you, because when this vlog comes out it doesn't matter anymore. I know where the keys are, so I prioritize the reads to get the keys, right? So seeing the key count being so close
And knowing the community around this readathon, I think I want to change my strategy, and I think I want to pivot to getting the power-ups hidden in the mansion to deal more damage to the big baddie, meaning I will not start Beauty of Darkness anytime soon, because that's a 700-page chonker, and I just don't know if I could finish that. Doesn't necessarily mean too much difference for my Aurelium readathon TBR. Simply because I can buy a scroll, I can change things around, don't care. Beauty of Darkness is already a scroll pick. Fucking tree. That's something I have to get over. So I might just change that around again, don't care. Aurelium is not my problem this year, for once in my life. So I think I'm going to just start collecting the power-ups. Now, that being said, I did start Legendborn this morning. I'm already 55 pages in. I'm 55 pages in, and this one doesn't count towards any of the prompts that has a key in it. I don't know what's in the room. I only remember where the keys are. I didn't even remember what key is where. I just remember these are the rooms with the keys, these are the rooms with not keys. So I started a not key room prompt, and I have the audiobook for Legendborn as well, so I hope I can get through that quickly. And I have my eye on one particular power-up, and I hope Legendborn will give it to me. That's a social gathering prompt, and I do hope I can get the power-up that I want for it. My reading plans have shifted. You will probably not see Beauty of Darkness from me this month. It's just, it's 700 pages. Even with the audiobook, it's so big. Reading Legendborn now. I'm still finishing out One Foot in the Fate. I wanted to finish it yesterday, and then I got sidetracked by a really bad soap opera. I'm sorry, but Ed Quinn is just too hot not to look at him, okay? That also means I can finally read all the mangas and comic, the one comic I have on my list, because they were all for non-essential prompts. Expect a lot more updates on actually finished reads from me, and something that is, for once, unrelated to the 2 books I've started at the beginning of last week. That's it from me. That's it from the Popperoni. Show your face to the camera. Wanna have a snack? Well, snack. Yes. I will let him find a place to poop, and I see you in the next update. And we're pooping. I caved. I got myself another one of those Fairlight thingies. And because it's very hard for me to just buy one thing, I also bought myself a shitty plastic plant. This has a reason. Hi. My eyes are down here. This has a reason. Because this room is facing north. So all of my plants, this beautiful garden array, grows perfectly fine as long as I keep them at my window, because that's, you can see that that's where sunlight hits, so they are all happy. But my bookshelf lie in darkness, especially this one. It's so dark in this corner. No light touches these things. That's depressing. As a plant dad, I want to have green stuff. So, because nothing can grow here, I thought I get myself a shitty little plastic plant. I have to put it... I have to make it pretty. I have to bend and break it. But then I will probably put it either up here, so Edward Kenway can babysit it, or I'm going to put it right here to my favorite bedtime story as a child, so Jacob Fry can babysit it, I guess. I'm going to make this bitch pretty, and I got the next set of these round bauble fairy lights to make things cozy, because I hate winter and winter is dark, so I give myself the right to make it at least cozy and shit. let's just say pretty is not the word I would use for this thing. I don't like that it's bunching up in the middle, like, this thing is bending all the wrong ways. I think I have to hit it with a blow dryer or something, like just something with heat to form the plastic a bit. I also don't know if I want to keep it here. I don't know, I check if it looks better on the other side. Okay, over here it's literally just hanging in front of my mangas, and I mean, I can push. This one is facing out, it's Fangs, volume 1. I can just switch that around to have it, to still have it facing out, but I don't know. I have one more thing I can try. I'm going to switch Edward and the plant monstrosity around and see how that looks. But oh my god, it's so ugly. It looks so weird. What if I go... Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay, but honestly, this is like the best position it has been in so far. I think I'd leave it there. But I really need to heat and bend the plastic of this thing to make it look less horrible. I hate plastic plants so much. That's why I'm using the real stuff. Except for my ceiling, that's all fake, but like, these are so much easier to handle. I just turn them towards the sun and be done with it. It's so ugly. I love it. We're on walkies. Again, who would have thunk that a dog needs more than one walk on more than one day? There he is. The glorious cow. Eating grass for his tummy. But yeah, it's... when I'm not listening to a podcast or an audiobook on these walkies is actually kind of the time frame for an update. So that's what we're doing. I keep chopping away at 1 foot in the page. Nothing too interesting there, only read a couple of pages yesterday. But I'm closing in on the big finale, so should be done by today or tomorrow at the latest. But I also started Legendborn. Sorry, I have to look down. There are so many tree roots down here. I started Legendborn yesterday, and I'm only 84 pages, not percent, pages into the whole thing, which is part 1 of I think 4 or something. And it's good. Like, for what it is so far, it's nice, I guess. I do like me a secret organization with way too many ranks to keep track of. I love that. That's not sarcasm, that I mean that. I love shit like that. But I have an issue with it, with the book. With the writing, to be precise. First and foremost, the writing is so incredibly YA. Like, we go all the way back to the I describe my own body type while I describe the body type of a side character, that kind of stuff. And I don't know, not the biggest fan of stuff like that, but that's not the issue I have. Guess who just now figured out that my camera stopped recording in the middle of the last clip down out in the forest? Correct, me. So watch me scramble to find my thoughts that I left in that forest. So I think... yeah, I was complaining about the YA-ness of this YA novel
I wouldn't call it complaining necessarily, it's just I don't vibe with this kind of descriptions that the book is giving us of people. There are a couple of transcriptions, yes. There are a couple of descriptions of characters in here that I do like. All of them are clearly side characters, but every time we go closer into the description of the character, we describe that character in a way that I just yeah, whatever. And we also, like, the main character describes herself in this very I stand in the mirror and tuck back a lock of my chocolate brown hair and meet my own blue-eyed gaze, whatever the fuck, right? And this has the same vibe as another issue I have with this book. It's just the shifts, not even in scenes, it's just when there is a new theme coming in, a new vibe to a setting or a scene or a character interaction, it feels very clunky. It feels like, okay, you have this point in the scene, you have this point in the scene, and someone just deleted the part in between. The smooth transition from one thing to the next one, just boom, in your face. And that just makes it very clunky in a way. That's what I said when my camera gave out. Like my SD card filled up, and then I just rambled on for like 5 minutes longer in the forest without realizing it, that my phone wasn't filming. Yeah. Happy fun times. I'll see you in the next update. Okay, so I am 223 pages into Legendborn now, which brings me to part 3 of the book, and I have to say, it's still clunky. I was legitimately jump scared by a romantic subplot. I mean, I saw the possibility for it, and knowing the genre, it makes sense that there is this specific kind of romantic subplot. But it was like, okay, they are becoming friends, okay, cool, boom, we're kissing. And I'm like, where did that come from? Like, what? You know this dude for 3 days! And in these 3 days, so much stuff has happened! Why are you kissing him right now? You have so many other fish to fry! So, yeah, we keep going with the weird, clunky shifts in themes and vibes in certain scenes. What else is there to say? I'm in the middle of the book. So things are not really moving, kind of. I don't know, I don't really have thoughts on this. Other than it reads very YA, but sometimes very NA, and that there are clunky theme shifts at times. I mean, I do know at this point that this is going to be a love triangle. I'm pretty sure. And since we have a blonde good guy and a dark-haired asshole, I'm pretty sure I know who we are going to end up with. What I'm interested in seeing is where this secondary magic system is going to go. Because we only explored one side of the whole thing so far. Not many thoughts about this book. It's a read. I guess. I wish I could say more about this, but I don't know. Well, there's one more thing I can say about it. The pacing is weird. They have very long days in this book and very interesting schedules. Let's just put it at that. Like, from what I have read, this has taken place over 3 days, but in those 3 days, so much happens that I doubt that their days are only 24 hours long. And that's all I can say about this at this moment. So, see you in the next update. We are going to repot the snake monster. She's not a snake plant, actually, but this pothos is living in a tiny, tiny pot,
and I bought a bigger one. So we will repot her right now. Because my mom also brought home 2 aloe babies, and I want to repot them from water into soil, so I thought might as well put the last of my children in a new home. My window looks so naked now. Ah. And these are the aloe plants that we stole from an office. So, yeah. They are getting pots now. Okay, so I finished 2 books, actually. I finished Legendborn last night. I really wish I could say more about it than just I read the book. I really wish I could say more about it, but this was just... I don't know. I wouldn't say I expected more from it because I heard that it's such a cool book. I expected more from it because of the premise. But right now, as things stand, it's a book and I read it. Maybe it's because I'm not the target audience for this, like this is clearly a YA, and I'm clearly not that, but I read it. It was kind of clunky for me. I wish there would be more intel on the magic system. That was actually really interesting, and the way things are connected. Instead, we get a jump scare, romance subplot, and I don't know. There are a lot of side characters in here that feel very much like, if I need you, I put you in. If I don't need you, I just forget about your existence. Especially with like the best friend Alice. She was in the beginning because she had a role to fulfill, and then she was in the end and she was just kind of there. Like she felt like an afterthought, and there were a couple of characters that in certain parts of the book just felt like, oh shit, I forgot about this character, let's just slap down the name. So the ending didn't have quite the impact that it should have had on me, I guess. It's a read. It's a book. I read it. Yay! For Adventurerathon, this fulfills the prompt of a social gathering place. I already figured out what I found in the social gathering place in the Manor Mansion. Not the magic item I was hoping for, but I'll take it. And for Aurelium, this fulfills the prompt of read something that is on G's, that was in one of G's videos, and I found this in a bookshelf tour because I was cheeky like that. So this is going to get put on the shelf. Yay. I don't know if I want to continue the series. Gotta be honest. And the second book I just now finished. Finally, took me forever to get it done with. One Foot in the Fate! I haven't locked it yet, but I know that this is one that I read for a prompt that has a key. It's the 3rd book in the Fetch Phillips series, so I continue the series. I'm happy with that. I finally read the last 70 pages and oh my god! We don't have the Found Family anymore. Like, everyone just fucked off into the winds, I guess. But the ending was just so nice! It touched something very deep in my heart and it made a little... I also love the fact that we follow Fetch Phillips, and in this book, he is just wrong. Period. The point that he is holding on to until the very end, he is wrong, and Luke Arnold is not afraid to show us just how wrong he is. And you follow Fetch while he is trying to justify his own point to himself and to everyone else, and he is so desperate, and everyone is pointing out the flaws in what he is doing and why he is doing it. And by the end, he finally figures out, oh shit, everyone is telling me I'm wrong because I actually am wrong. And then he has the realization, and then he just changes career paths
and I kind of like that. I really like this book. And I'm not mad. I am not mad that there is going to be another Fetch Phillips book, because yes. Yes. Also, by the end of this, we finally touch on something that I was suspicious of since book 1. But it was never really explained, so I was this close. I was this close to believing it's not important. It's literally just a small little detail about the sad little life of Fetch Phillips. But then, I need more information about it. I need the next book in the series. Yeah! So now that I finished 2 of my reads, I'm probably, hopefully, going to keep chopping away at Wrath of Empire. At least I'm aiming to do so, because I have 230 pages left in this one. I need to finish this. So this will be my main priority until I do finish it. And other than that, I will probably read either Shinigami Doctor Volume 1 or Spy Family Volume 1. One of those. Because they are quick reads, and they are also giving me they give me access to power-ups, and I hope one of these is the power-up that I want to have! Pretty sure it's going to be in the Alchemy Lab cellar, so I'm going to hit this one first before I hit this one. These are on my immediate TBR, together with Wrath of Empire, and that might actually push the comic and Assistant to the Villain into my TBR for the boss battle. But yeah, that's it for now. I guess I see you in the next update. Hi. You can't see me right now. I literally just got up. I'm not even up yet, I'm still in bed. How likely do you think it is that I finish 4 reads today before the boss fight starts tomorrow? We will find out. You know how I would get 4 reads done today? Correct. By reading. Am I reading? No. I am, in fact, not reading. I am working on my own little readathon graphics. It's not planned out very well. I have 11 pages of it. I have 11 pages of rules and shit and stuff and how it works, and yeah. I should be reading. Can someone please kick my ass?
A few minutes later.
I'm finally starting to read. Read number 1, Shinigami Doctor, Volume 1 for the Alchemist Science Prompt. Let's go. Alchemy Lab done. 1 read down, 3 more to go. I'm not even through the first chapter of Spy Family Volume 1, but I already love Anya. I love her so much. I had her for 10 pages, but I would die for her.
I should have read this sooner. This is fucking hilarious. This is fucking hilarious. I love it. I love Anya so much. I love her so much. That's read number 2. Done. On to read number 3. Yeah. 4 reads is not happening today, mostly because A, I don't want to read Vox Machina today for some reason. I'm just not feeling it, so I'm not reading that one. And there is no way that I'm going to finish a 300 plus page book in 90 minutes. But I got 2 more power-ups by finishing Shinigami Doctor and Spy Family, the child bedroom, and the alchemy lab prompts for science and feature a child / parent. Loved both of these for very different reasons. Both were funny as fuck. So with these I get 2 more power-ups. It's still not the one I wanted, but they're still good. They're still good. And now I am going to enjoy my cannelloni and some true crime and maybe a shitty fantasy show that I love and just be merry until the boss fight starts tomorrow. So this is where I end this vlog, and I see you in the next one. Bye.